Today's hike is to Owl's Head. I'm planning to take the Lincoln Woods Trail to the Black Pond Trail and take the Black Pond Bushwhack, and then head up the Owl's Head slide, come back down on the Brutus Bushwhack, and assuming the Black Pond Bushwhack is good, I'll come back on the Black Pond Bushwhack and back to Lincoln Woods. It was a busy morning in the parking lot. It's the middle of the week, early June, but this trail is going to be closing in about a week so they can fix some damage on the trail. And so a lot of people are out trying to get, Owl's Head or the Bonds or a Pemi Loop done before this trail is going to be closed, probably for the rest of the summer. So it's a beautiful sunny morning. You can see the sun shining on my face. I'm starting before 7 a.m. I've got a long day today. Long walk through the woods, hike up and down a mountain, and then a long walk through the woods back. So I've been walking down the Lincoln Woods Trail. Looks like this the whole way. It's an old railroad bed, really straight, pretty flat, but I think I've gained a couple hundred feet of elevation. At the junction with the Black Pond Trail, I'm going to pause here for a break. It's been about 2.5 miles since I started, so I'll pause here for a break, have some water and a little bit of breakfast, and then I will head down this trail to Black Pond. What a change, getting off the Lincoln Woods Trail, which is an old railroad bed, and onto a real trail to Black Pond. There it is, Owl's Head. That's where I'm heading today. I'm going to find the start of the bushwhack around Black Pond. We've reached just about the end of the Black Pond Trail. There's a little open area here that looks out on the pond. And then I can see the trail continues past the pond a little bit. Walked a few more steps past that lookout on Black Pond. I can see here the trail goes forward and then just kind of ends in a marshy area. If I look to the left, so to the left here is where the bushwhack is starting. People have walked along here. And if I look in the woods back in there, I can see the footsteps, the track from people's footsteps. Black Pond is through the trees behind there. I went a little bit up to the left around this marshy area, and it looks like the Bushwhack Trail now is going to cross this little stream and head off further up into the woods. I'm at about the midpoint on the Black Pond Bushwhack. So far, the Black Pond Bushwhack has been just a nice trail in the woods. I've reached the end of the Black Pond Bushwhack. I had come on the trail. Looks like I would have had to cross here. So here at the end of the bushwhack, I'm going to turn to the left. Keep heading out to Owl's Head. I've had one crossing of a tributary. That's the first crossing that showed up on my map. Nice and low right now, so no problems. I took a video of that. Some sections are a little bit muddy. Areas where it's kind of eroded. There's side streams coming in. Some places, probably an old rock slide where you're scrambling over some of the bigger rocks. But overall, a normal trail through the woods. And let me give a summary of the Black Pond Bushwhack. So I'd say that trail's similar to a lot of what I've done in the Adirondacks with the so-called trailless peaks, that so many people have gone the same way that there's really a trail to follow. Now the caveat with the Black Pond Bushwhack is the Lincoln Brook Trail is going to close next week. This is June 2026, and the Forest Service says the Lincoln Woods Trail is going to close from June 15th of 2026, and they're predicting through November of 2026 to fix that eroded section. And the forest is very good about reclaiming, so who knows what the Black Pond Bushwhack will be like once the Lincoln Woods Trail's opened up again and people come on it. So let me know in the comments if you take the Black Pond Bushwhack, in 2027 or 2028. Let me know in the comments how it is. If it's still evident, how quickly it comes back, or whether it's actually more of a bushwhack after, being closed for most of the 2026 hiking season. I've trekked 7 miles or 7.5 miles through the woods to find this pile of rocks. I'm at the turnoff for the Owl's Head slide. So I'm gonna come up to the pile of rocks and turn right. And then I'm gonna go straight up 1,500 feet to the top of Owl's Head. I've done the first couple hundred feet of ascent up the slide. It's been a little bit loose and rocky, and I'm getting high enough up to peek through the trees and start seeing some views of Franconia Ridge. At 3,000 feet of elevation, coming up the Owl's Head slide. So that's where I came from, down there. And I am enjoying taking a break and looking at the views of Franconia Ridge. Continuing on the Owl's Head slide, this is where I came from. Right now it's pretty much a straight up climb. I'm at 3,300 feet of elevation. And the slide went back into the woods. So I think I'm done with the nice views. Video's not great because I'm kind of into the sun, but continuing to climb up. I'm at about 3,700 feet of elevation, so I've got less than 400 more to go. And in the part of the climb that is a little bit more gentle, I think I've done most of the steep climbing, so it should be a more gentle climb for the rest of the way. Definitely feeling it. It's Powerpuff time to get me up this mountain. Yay, I reached the pile of rocks on the top of Owl's Head. The summit feels fairly anticlimactic, just a pile of rocks up in a clearing. Not even much of a clearing. But after the steep climb, felt like a long walk along the summit ridge to reach the pile of rocks. I can vaguely see some tops of peaks, see the surrounding ridges around me through the trees, but pretty much a treed-in view. Came up along this trail. It was fairly flat on the ridge for a while after steeply climbing up 1,500 feet. So I've been up here chatting with some of the other hikers that are out today and enjoying my snacks. I'm going to eat a little bit more, get the fuel I need to drop back down 1,500 feet, and then walk back to my car. I've descended between 500 and 600 feet from Owl's Head Summit, and I have reached the turn for the Brutus Bushwhack. So coming down, the trail goes kind of straight into this boulder. And then as I look to the left on my way down, there's a little rock cairn there, marking the start of the Brutus Bushwhack. So on the Brutus Bushwhack, and just had one little tricky spot that I thought I'd get on video. I just reached this little stream that's coming down the side of the mountain, and there was a really clear trail if I cross the stream to the left. I think that shows up on some of the maps as just like a little spur trail. Started going up, so I didn't think that was the way to go. So I just kind of walked along the rocks of this little stream for a little bit and then turned to the right, and I can see again that there's a trail here. I made it. It's the end of the Brutus Bushwhack, and I'm back to the main trail. So over to the right is where I had gone earlier, and now I'm going to turn left, go back across that little muddy area, cross the stream, and head back to my car in like 7 more miles. Yay, a trail marker! 2 trail markers. Back at Black Pond. Made it through the Black Pond Bushwhack. Still have about 3.5 miles to go, but it's about a mile of this trail at Black Pond, from Black Pond, and then about 2.5 miles on the Lincoln Woods Trail. And I've got one last view of Owl's Head before I hike out. Feels really awesome to have hiked that today. That was number 36 of my New Hampshire 48s and number 97 of the Northeast 111, which of course there's 115 mountains to climb in the Northeast 111. And back to the Lincoln Woods Trail. So it's about 2.5 miles from here back to the car, but a gradual slope down and a smooth old railroad bed to walk on. And there were lots of people out hiking Owl's Head today. Everyone's out getting their Lincoln Woods hikes done before they close this trail next week for the rest of the summer. Made it back to the Lincoln Woods trailhead. Gonna head across the suspension bridge and get back to my car.